I'm Angelika Sadar. I'm a licensed psychologist, certified in neurofeedback, and participating in the certification process for the heart rate variability that's going to be offered through BCIA. I'm in practice outside of Philadelphia, been doing neurofeedback since 2001, use a variety of modalities, EEG biofeedback, heart rate variability, EMG biofeedback, and also specialize in assessments using EEG and measuring evoked potentials. Actually, it was through my husband. He's a psychologist also, Mitchell Sadar, and he was changing careers. He had worked in maximum penitentiary, and he started to get involved in learning about the EEG biofeedback. And when he brought it back to the office, we just saw that the patients were benefiting in a way that was very different than what we had previously seen with just the standalone psychotherapy. So it became just a marvelous tool, and the more we learned it, the more interested we got, and felt that that was an area for us to become more specialized in. You know, good question. I don't know if I got an email that Unyte had purchased Wild Divine, but it started with Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. So I think I was one of the early ones. I think I bought 5 systems on Kickstarter. Had a lot of faith in you guys. We liked the Wild Divine. I spoke with somebody in your office, and they were very responsive to, what my concerns and needs were. So we went ahead and did it through Kickstarter, and then got the regular updates through you guys as it was developing, and continue to get the updates, which is very nice. Well, I think this works very nice for people that are both getting directed clinically for their biofeedback, but also as an independent home user. It's a wonderful product. It's easy to use. It has a lot of variety. And, at this point, I keep getting, new programs from you. So it's maintaining my interest. At some point, you're not going to be able to keep adding new programs, but I know there's also in the works possibility of maybe EMG in the future, or, different modalities. So the platform keeps building, and that's a nice thing. So I like that it has a wide appeal. Of all the different biofeedback that I'm familiar with, I think the heart rate variability as a standalone is really the single best form of biofeedback in terms of bang for buck. It's easy to learn, and the Unyte program just has a nice variety of different scenes and different voices and different ways to access the heart rate variability. So I'll tell you a story later about my grandson using it. Well, my children, who are in their 30s, have grown up with biofeedback, and they've always, test this for me, see how you like this. And I now have grandchildren, 2 years old and 4 years old. And my one daughter was over with her sons, and I did the old test this. I want you to see how you like this. Sit down. And we've got these kids running around the room, and the kids just quieted down and kind of came to her, and one of them sat on her lap, and then the kids started fighting about who was going to be able to sit in her lap and watch this program. So literally we had to remove one of them because she couldn't manage everything with the 2 of them. But the 4-year-old ended up being the first to sit in her lap, and he just was totally engaged even without the sensor. And there is, with heart rate variability, we know that we connect with each other through our energy, And so her energy was transmitting to him, and he was enjoying the videos. And then when the other one came, a 2-year-old, was able to sit in his mother's lap and just watch what she was doing and calm down through the process. So it was just lovely. And I like that you can use the program in different ways like that. And a mother can sit down with a child and engage and do a video game that's good for them. So the kids actually feel like they're doing a video game, but they're not. I think what has progressed nicely in the field of neurofeedback is that people that you would call hardcore neurofeedback practitioners are now recognizing the importance of the heart rate variability. And we were able to do that quite early in our use of neurofeedback. For some reason, the heart rate variability just appealed to me. It made good logical sense. So we've been incorporating it for many years. And actually, our first training, even for neurofeedback, is heart rate variability. And one of the things that, with neurofeedback, of course, you can't really practice it at home. It's in the office. That makes lots of sense. But heart rate variability can be practiced at home and can be practiced anywhere. And people like to have a tool that they can take with them. So I think this facilitates other forms of biofeedback, but it also empowers a patient to be able to use things on their own. And the variety of the different scenes and ways that you carry people through the scenes really gives people a sense of, oh, I can pick and choose and do what's best for me, what appeals to me the best. They're all good. So it doesn't really matter where you start. There are some that maybe are better for some people to start than others, but still, I think this can support people's overall training in a very nice way. And really, they don't feel like they're doing training. It's a way of sitting people still and quieting down. And that's something we just don't do in our society enough. But what I also like is that it incorporates the computer modality, because I can't say to somebody, sit in the field and be still for 15 minutes. But I can say to them, turn on your computer, put on the sensor and choose, because there's a little bit of activity for them. They can choose the screen they want, but then they're getting to the point where they are doing what they should be doing, which is the sitting still and being still. It is easy. For me, the first step didn't come naturally. It was so easy, I didn't even think it was that easy. So I was trying to make it harder, is what happened. And I ended up calling your technical support, and they made it very easy. In fact, I was working on an old computer, and there was a little bit trouble interfacing with the USB, and they solved that for me very easily. So it's easier than you think it would be. And what I like is that you can use it on so many systems. I can go anywhere. I can go to my daughter's house and do it. And I can do it on my father's phone. And I can do it wherever I want. So that's very nice for me. And for the patients, being able to say, this is easy. It's easy and it's got a lot of variety. The vast majority of people like it. We even have people who are yoga teachers who come in and say, I know how to do this, I know how to breathe, I teach breathing it. But when you show them and give them the feedback, they actually can also feel a different sense of their experience. Got to be a little bit careful with people who have trauma, who aren't used to relaxing. Moving somebody who's in a hypervigilant mode into a still inner mode can be uncomfortable for them because it's unfamiliar. But in that regard, that is a case where it's helpful to have a practitioner work with them early on. Whereas the vast majority of the people I feel could, if they found this, purchase it themselves. and use it without a practitioner assisting them. And again, the technical support is great, and the program is easier than you think it would be. Yeah. Absolutely. We now specialize in evaluations. So we're doing very specialized neurofeedback with research cases and so forth. But when we do evaluations, we write a very comprehensive report, and we include lifestyle changes, things that you can do to facilitate your well-being at home. And I would really say 9 out of 10 of, it might be 10 out of 10. We recommend this program now very, very regularly. Again, I think people might get an evaluation and come in and they have good intentions and they want to get started in the neurofeedback, but they can't do that right away. They may be going on vacation. They may, have some financial obstacles. You can buy this program. The pricing is really very affordable. So it's an easy starter thing as well as a good ongoing supplement.